Hey everybody, it's Weldon. We are back for our 4 o'clock Word presentation on how to create a very basic letterhead. This should only be a few minute video, but please by all means feel free to stick around. If you're watching this after the fact, please, no matter what, leave a comment. We'll get to them as soon as we're done with the how-to. So we're going to go right into it. Let me switch over to the proper screen here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on the Start button and we're going to open Microsoft Word. Now in this case, we're using Microsoft Word version 365. That's the latest and greatest. And we're going to go ahead and create a blank document. And now that we have our blank document, what we're going to do, this is personal preference. I always go right in and I change my margins to ½ inch. And then the other thing I would do is I'll double click up here and we're going to do the entire portion of the letterhead in the top of the header. That way, if we go on to a second page, it continues and so on and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and center what I'm doing, and I'm going to enter in some fairly basic information. So I want to say from the desk of Weldon Hastings. And then we're going to put in the office address of 5829 Turney Road, Garfield Heights, Ohio 44125. And then I'm going to put my office number in 216-475-6000. So now obviously this is pretty plain. Uh, so I think what we're going to want to do here is we're going to make this the biggest out of what we've got going here. And then let's make that smaller, what's called superscript, where it kind of goes up uh, like that. And then we're going to do, that's 20 point, that's 11. We'll do this in 9 point. So I'm going to turn from the desk of Weldon Hastings. Let's change this to some type of script. Now I've got about 6,000 fonts in this computer, maybe more. So I've got to kind of scroll through and find something uh, kind of like a calligraphy kind of a thing. Not like that. Something that's not bad. So I'm going to look for something else. Let's see here. So this is all just personal preference, what I think looks okay together, and I could be wrong on some of this stuff. So if you see it and you're like, oh, that's ugly, say something in the comments, because if you've got a font that you think would look neat, I'd like to know. I'd like to see it. So from the desk of Weldon Hastings, and then we'll make this something that's kind of thin and faint, but it's got to kind of match what we have up top. Oh, I like that one. I'm just playing with the font selection here and seeing if I can't come up with something that looks. Let's see here. All right, so now we're going to modify the address line. We're going to want this to be something not bold, but something that'll stand out. Well, that definitely stands out, just not in a good way. So now we're going to change. And I'm using the same font family, which is like something similar to that. Let's see how that looks. So using Microsoft Word, we have created a basic letterhead. So what I'm going to do is there's one thing that just seems to be missing. There's nothing that separates the top of this page from what the body should be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here. I'm going to press the space key and then 4 dashes and press the enter key. Sometimes it'll give you a line, and that's what I'm looking for. So let's double click down on the main body to come off the header. And we've now established that if a letterhead. So if I want to look at this like a print preview, because it's grayed out here, but that's normal. If I hit Control P, it takes me to the print window, or if I go up to File and then Print, it takes me to the it takes me to a print preview, and then I can hit the Fit to Window, or I can even zoom in some to see if I like this. And I like my name on here. I don't think I care for the from the desk of part. So let's go back in and change that writing up there. Let's go back to the Home tab and let's find a different font that we might like. Um, I just have to find something I'm happy with. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button there. So what I'm doing is I'm just thumbing through some of these using the up and down arrow on my keyboard just until I find something that kind of speaks out to me. Something that seems to complement the rest of that font there. So what I'm doing is I'm just, like I said, pressing the down arrow key till I find something that kind of speaks to me. I'm going to try this, and I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. No, I don't like it. So I'm going to hit the undo button. I'm going to kind of whiz through this thing here and see if I can't find a better font. And whenever you're doing something creative like this, it's always, you got to find what what kind of speaks to you. And that's kind of what I want to do for the purpose of this demonstration for you guys today. So if we use that and I make my name bigger, I'm just going to hit Shift and Enter. It's called a carriage break instead of a line break. You see, if I hit Shift and Enter, it goes down what looks to be a full line, but if I hit Enter, it goes down what looks to be a line and a half. I just wanted to see what the difference in that was. But I'm not in love with this, and so we're at 36 points on everything. So let's change that back. All right, now that looks like it's working a little bit better. So we've got to go back through here and find something that works here. So I'm going into the font menu, and I'm going to do small caps and see how that looks. That looks a little bit too big, so I'm right clicking on it, going back down to font. I like the superscript. That's what why it's a little higher. I like the superscript. I think I like that. So now if I click off of here, you'll see we have a Word document that now has our letterhead, which is great. The problem is going to be we haven't saved this. So the first thing we got to do is save this as a Word document. So I'm going to go to File and Save. I'm going to go to my desktop, and I'm going to call this Letterhead. Okay, and now I'm going to save it on the desktop. But the other thing I want to do is I want to save this as a template. And the reason why I want to save this as a template is so when I go to use this later and I try to close it or save it, it doesn't save the file, it saves a copy of the file. So the way you do that is you go to File and Save As. And where it says More Options, you click there, and then where it says File Type, we're going to go from the Word document to, we're going to find where it says Template in here. So it's not the macro enabled, it's not the 97 to 03, it's a Word template file. So I'll save this on the desktop, okay? And then I'll call this letterhead template. And the reason why I'm going to do that If I close this, you'll now see that I have two. I have the Word document here, right underneath Firefox on the left-hand side, and you'll see that I have the header letterhead template. So if I open the letterhead itself, the Word document, the first document there, if I save this, it's going to save that file. Whereas if I open the letterhead template file that we created, and I type in test, when I go to close this, it's not asking me to overwrite that file. It's asking me if I will save that file as if it's the first time I'm editing the document. So that, in a nutshell, is why you want to create the template file and a copy of the Word document. So essentially you have two of the same file, but you then can edit the template. You can use that template over and over and over again, and the base of it never changes. If you want to make a change, so for instance, let's say we want to change from the desk of, and we just want to say Weldon Hastings. If I go to File and Save As on my desktop, I'm going to save the template, the Word template, the DOTX file, and I'm going to call this new template, and that's going to be up on the desktop. All right, so there's the original letterhead template. Here's the new template we just created. So if I save that, close out of Word, and I go to the new template, and I open it, there's our new template. It doesn't have the from the desk of Weldon Hastings. It just says Weldon Hastings, then the address and the phone number. So if I want to save this as just a Word document to make a change later, if I go to File and Save, and I go to the desktop, I can just save it as the normal Word document, or I can make a change and then save that template again. So that's, in a nutshell, how you create some letterhead, and you save it so that it's not going to be modified every time you try to save it. If you have any questions and would like to know more, if there's something you would like to see, please feel free to hop on, leave a comment, and we will create a how-to video based on your recommendations and comments, and we can go from there. And from everybody at Weldon PC, I want to thank you very much for all your support. We know today with the snowstorm is kind of everybody's stuck at home or stuck at work, and I appreciate everybody tuning in. I know everybody here does too. So until next time, we'll see you.